Hello grade 7. Today we're gonna just complete our book New Hello, and we're gonna start with Unit 11, Lesson 1. First, what's the title of our lesson? It's called On Land and Sea. So we're gonna just start by discussing some new words. What sea life can you see in the photos and which are dangerous? Let's start by knowing the new vocab and linking them to their pictures. First of all, the coral reef. As we can see in picture 4, these are kind of stones, a colorful one, that we might find in the Great Barrier Reef or in the Red Sea. The second word is the jellyfish, which we can see in picture 5. Then we have the octopus in picture 6. Then we have the shark in 3, stingray in 1 that has this sharp tail. Then we have the turtle as in picture 2. Then we have the whale as in picture 7. Now let's move to a reading exercise. Exercise 1. It's called Read and Complete the Text with a Word from the photos. Dangers of the Sea. The first one. So all the gaps, we're going to complete them using the words that we have already learned in the previous page. The shark is one of the most dangerous sea animals in the ocean. If it loses a tooth, a new one grows. A shark uses more than 20,000 teeth in its life. So, how do fish and sea animals protect themselves from danger? A is a big, flat fish and that lives in the coral reef. This could be a whale. If it knows a shark is coming, it jumps out of the water. A sea turtle has a hard shell to protect it. Other animals can swim very fast. The octopus has got 8 legs to help it. Some sea life, like the jellyfish, is poisonous. It stings you when you touch it. What about the stingray? These big, heavy animals hit with their big tails. Now let's move to the speaking part, exercise 2. He's telling you that you have to work in pairs and describe a sea animal. Can your partner guess which one it is? So, for example, if we say to a partner, it can swim fast, it has got 8 legs, of course we'll guess that this one is the octopus. Now let's move to the grammar lesson that we have here, which is called zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to talk about things that are always true. Let's say facts. We use F or when and the present simple in both clauses. So again, we have 2 clauses and we have a linking word that we are making the conditional with. It can be F or when. And this is zero conditional, talking about things that are always true. And let's say facts. Let's have an example. If it rains, we get water. So again, we use the word F. The first clause is in the present simple. It rains. That's the condition. We get water. That's the result or the consequence of having the condition of raining. And again, it's also in the present simple. As we can see here, it's a kind of fact. It's always true. If it rains, we get water. The second example, when it's late, I feel tired. Or we get water if it rains. So I can just put F at the beginning or in the middle. I feel tired when it's late. Here I use the word when instead of F to express the zero conditional. We have in exercise 3 an exercise about the zero conditional. He's telling you match to make zero conditional sentences. So I have in the first or the part on the left, I have a clause, and the other part on the right, I have another clause, and I have to match them together to make a correct sentence. Like the first one, it's already done for you. If you touch a jellyfish, what will happen? Yes, it stings you. Now let's move to lesson 2, which is also reading and speaking. And we're gonna just talk about we must save our planet. So, work in pairs what's made of plastic in the classroom. Let's just think about the classroom. What's made in plastic? I guess maybe the markers, maybe our stuff in the pencil case. Let's move to the exercise 2. Look at the photos and discuss these questions in pairs. As we can see here, what problem do you think the text is about? And what can we do to help? Now let's just start to read the text and then check the answers. Plastic is everywhere. We use it for many different things. The problem is plastic stays in the environment for a very long time. Some of the plastic people find on beaches is about 100 years old. We can recycle some plastic, but most of it goes into the ocean. Plastic is poisonous when animals eat it. Every year, more than 100,000 sea animals and birds die from plastic. We must try to use other materials, paper and glass, for example, because these are easier to recycle. When we use plastic shopping bag, we mustn't throw away these bags in rivers. It will take a long time to clean all the plastic rubbish from the beaches and the ocean. But we mustn't stop trying to help our planet. So it seemed that the whole problem is about using plastic. And what can we do to help this? We can just use other materials like paper and glass, as mentioned in the text. And we can stop throwing the plastic bags in the ocean or the rivers. Now let's move to exercise 4. He's telling you look at the words in red. In the text, match the words with the definitions. Let's just read the words in red. Recycle, throw away, rubbish, and planet. Now let's start. The first one is already done for us. Get rid of what you don't need. This is called throw away. To get rid of something that you will not use anymore, that's called throwing away. Number 2, where we live. The whole place, the big place that we live in is called planet. Number 3, a verb which means to use again. This is called recycle. 4, things we do not need, like old paper. These are called rubbish. Now let's move to the language part in lesson 2, which is the difference between must and mustn't, should and shouldn't. Okay, we use must to talk about things that are necessary to do. We use mustn't to talk about things that you aren't allowed to do. So merely mustn't talking about rules, kind of low. But talking about shouldn't. We use shouldn't to talk about things that are a good idea to do or not to do. So let's just say we use shouldn't, for example, if you want to say something's good or something is bad. If you want to just give someone a piece of advice. Okay, let's have examples. We must save our planet. That's something very important to do. We mustn't throw rubbish into the ocean. Again, it's against the rules of protecting and saving the environment. You should recycle more. Something good to do. I'm giving you a piece of advice. You shouldn't use plastic bags just once. Again, it's a bad idea to just use plastic bag for once and then throw it away. Exercise 6 is giving you some more exercise to do. The first one is already done. You must stop. That's a rule.